Hello everyone. This is a 1v1 with Shakma versus Gab. No camera today, I'm afraid, because decided to play up for some reason. But on team 1, at the very top, we're going to have Shakma as the Thousand Sons, and at the bottom we're going to have GabPR as the Emperor's Children. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. Both have a strong tier 1. Emperor's Children does have the stronger tier 2 in late game, but we'll see if it gets to that point. Let's wait for this to finish loading. See, usually games with Emperor's Children, at least for me, they take a while to load. Because it's such a big race. There's so much to it, it's unreal. Here we go. Okay. Gab will go a possessed conduit opening. Looks like he's going to go for the Noise Marines. This isn't actually a standard opening for Emperor's Children, believe it or not. I'm going to switch to Thousand Sons because the voice lines from Emperor's Children have some certain dialogue that I don't think would go with YouTube's guidelines. Looks like Shakma's going to go the three Full Wizards for fast capping and the Sorcerer Lord. He's going to get the Warp Gate, which is basically the barracks. And one, basically one power gen. Okay, cool. Gab deleted the I don't know why he did that. As Emperor's Children, you need power. You can use the Pleasure Cultists as a power source in tier 2, but he doesn't have that yet. So he needs to at least get one power going. Lines of power. Funny enough. And it looks like that Shakma's going to go for both relics here. He's going to reach out a little bit greedily. This is a... okay. I don't know why he wouldn't have captured this point first to get the faster, resource. But we have one Noise Marine squad coming up into Shakma's base. And a Sorcerer Lord that's going to join them. Slaneshi Lord. The two S's are confusing. Okay, we're going to have a standoff with Rubric Marines and a Sorcerer Lord versus Noise Marines and a Slaneshi Lord. The Slaneshi Lord's a little lagging behind, but he's going to make his way up there. And it looks like Ed's going to be forced back here. He's got a one model that's on red health, barely pixel health. But the Noise Marines have combat drugs, which enables them to be invincible for a small period of time. It's very similar to the Mad Dog ability, actually. Okay, Gab's gonna go for this relic here. Although he doesn't decap it, I don't know why. It's too late because he's already built it. And Gab's gonna fight this listening post here, which is the fight ahead. Where is Shakma brings his Sorcerer Lord here to deal with these Pleasure Cultist, but then he changes his mind, decides that this is actually the bigger threat here. Pleasure Cultists don't do that much damage compared to Noise Marines and the Celestial Lord. And he's using the range on the Celestial Lord. The range on the Celestial Lord is absolutely insane. It's disgusting, in fact. And we get the ability of the Sorcerer Lord. Sometimes it's actually bugs, so I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't use it, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's not necessarily the player's fault. I think it's just a mod. Yeah, but it looks like this squad is going to go back. Kind of needs to. It's a little low on health here. And the combat drugs. This is what I mean. Yeah, there we go. Saved just in time. That was perfect timing for Gab, actually. And I think we've got a third. We have 3 squads of Noise Marines, so there's 2 squads of Reaper Marines. This Sorcerer Lord's so low on health. He needs to go back with it. He might just lose this here. He most likely will, and he does. That's not good for Shakma right now.
You would not cast away such an important server.
Leaders are incredibly costly, especially on tier 1. He gets another one. His eco isn't terrible at the minute, although he is lacking 1 point, but he does have both relics. No one has the crits, so we're not getting any eco from that. But it looks like the Noise Marines are pushing back these Rubric Marines here. Gab's going to continue to push on. He's going to kill these Thrall Wizards, which are the builders and the cappers. He's going to aim down this sorcerer, this in place. He should just kill this squad here. He can possibly win. Because currently, Shakma can't really do anything against this. Yeah, nah, he should have finished this squad up there. And then moved on to this squad. Or maybe he killed this squad and then killed this listening post. He would have had the time. Yeah, but this squad in a heavy cover is just eating up the damage from the Noise Marines. Doesn't even care at the minute. Although they do slightly care, but the heavy cover will majority protect them all. And they don't have morale, so they can't even lose that. But the Sorcerer Lord is out once again, and it's going to turn the tide on this battle here. Gab needs to push back. He needs to pull back right now. The ability goes off again. He might lose this entire squad. That's not going to be good for him. And it's in combat, and Gab loses the Celestial Lord. He didn't use the combat drugs. Or perhaps he couldn't because the Sorcerer Lord stuns. Yeah. That's unfortunate for Gab. If Gab maybe knew that, he would have pulled back in time. Or used the ability before he could get in there. But it looks like Gab only has 1 squad left. That's not looking good for Gab. Oh no, he's got 2. He's got 2. He's got a 3rd one coming as well. Okay. Looks like Shakma's going to be doing the harassing now. Aiming down this listening post. And Gab, what's he going to do? He doesn't know what he's going to do. I think he's going to, yeah, he's going to put his forces in Shakma's base and just do a little base trade. I think that's all he can do at the minute. He can't handle this with just this at the minute. He needs his Celestial Lord back. Maybe attach a Celestial to a Pleasure Cultist squad and use the combat drugs and get in combat that way and tie them down and just use the Noise Marines to shoot them down. Possibly. I don't know if that would work or not, but yeah, Shakma doesn't actually want this in his base. These do a lot more damage than these, but Shakma does have more of these. But yeah, his noise marines are surprisingly good. A little squishy, but with the combat drugs that can be fixed. They do a lot of damage. Not to constructions though, for some reason. Odd. Okay, we got the Celestial Lord back, and he's going to be picking off this little force bit by bit here. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squads of Noise Marines. And the Celestial Lord is tearing up these Noise Marines. The Sorcerer Lord is just so good in terms of abilities. Okay, here we go. The combat drugs being used again, putting everything on pixel health. Well, that's not going to be good. As soon as the combat drugs wear off, they're going to die like flies, and he does pull them back in time. Meanwhile, the Celestial Lord is taking damage, but he's also dealing good damage. Although he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose too much health on that Celestial Lord. He doesn't want to lose that Celestial Lord again. And it's just going to be a trade, I think. But in whose favour? Looks like it's going to be Shakma's favour right now. There's just too many pixel health Noise Marines here, and they will just drop the moment they get shot at. And yeah, the Gab's going to have to pull back from that. He's lost way too much. And he does. Meanwhile, the Celestial Lord's still taking damage, still dealing damage. But I don't think it's worth it anymore. I think you've got to pull that back too. Shakma can just keep reinforcing this squad. Gab can't really do anything about it. It does good damage, but the Celestial doesn't do that much damage. It doesn't kill a whole squad in seconds. Gab just being a little too greedy, I think, at this point. Yeah. Well, this game certainly has come back in Shakma's favour for now. Two plasma generators. This isn't actually good because they produce barely any power for Emperor's Children. He needs to go tier 2. That's where the power comes in. The power on tier 2 for Emperor's Children is a little overkill, if you ask me. But it is what it is. Okay, he's going to be forced to pull back in this base. He's going to go back up. He's just going to go through the river. They can go around. Or will Shakma stay in his base and actually just do the damage he needs to do right now? Yeah, because Gab can't actually take this on. Gab's only choice here is a base trade. And I think Shakma knows that. And I think Shakma doesn't care at this point. It's not enough to do an equal trade. Shakma just has the superior forces up right now. Look how quickly these power generators go down. It's insane. Such weak structures. These Noise Marines, they'll do decent damage, especially with the Celestial Lord. Though I think they should go in melee for destroying buildings, because their melee is also really good. Yeah, it's just going to be a base trade from here on out. He's going to aim down the Possessed Conduit. That's a good choice. No more Noise Marines for Gab. Gab's got his builders up here though, so he could possibly build a Possessed Conduit. Keep the production of the Noise Marines up. Aiming down the Warp Gate, so no more Rubik Marines. Again, I think he should go melee for this, but maybe Gab just doesn't realise that at the moment. We've got more Thrall Wizards coming. And tier 2, okay. So finally tier 2 from Shakma. Look at that. There's no way Gab can keep up with this, not with this much smaller force here. Okay, looks like that Shakma's going to put like a part of his army to deal with this. Okay. Yeah, Gab does build a possessed conduit. Right in Shakma's banks, right under his nose. I mean, there's absolutely no way Shakma doesn't see that, right? He doesn't even finish building it! Oh no, Gab. It's just floating in midair, he doesn't finish it. I guess he wants to build the listening post first. I don't know, he should have finished it. He does, he goes back and finishes it. Will Gab be able to fight this force here? Or he's got the army now. It's all fully reinforced. Possibly. He's got to be able to macro versus the Sorcerer Lord's abilities though. He's got to be able to deal with that. If he can't, he will lose. The advantage that Shakma has right now is just his Sorcerer Lord and his abilities. And the Slaneshi Lord can't even go in combat with it because A, it's too low in health, and B, because he'll get stunned and won't be able to use his combat drugs. But that is going to force Gab back into his own HQ. I'm not even going to call it his base anymore because I'd say Shakma owns it now. But we've got one squad of Noise Marines just aiming down this Dark Wild route, which I'm assuming is the armory. But we've got Screamers on the field now. And we got another squad of Screamers coming. And that's going to tie up these Noise Marines. Going to do the good melee damage. 86, up to 86 damage on melee. Wow. These aren't even tier 2. Okay, and the Rubric Marines are going to come in and finish off with the Noise Marines here. These Noise Marines are going to have to run away from these Screamers. They don't have a choice. Just a lot of, what was it, Pleasure Slaves? Just round here. And these Screamers are just chasing these Noise Marines around the map. I think they just killed a whole squad. They must have got path or something. Or Gab maybe misclicked, I don't know. Okay, but this does in fact look over for Gab. Gab just can't handle any of this. He doesn't have enough Noise Marines. I think he's got 3 left. And yeah, Gab calls GG here. A very intense game. An all tier 1. Okay. Okay, so Shakma obviously had the superior military and resources and technology. He had everything. 84 units killed and 41 lost. This is about half on each. Yeah. A decent amount of wreck gathered, but not... The eco was never that good on both sides, so... Yeah, this could have been a lot better, but and Gab with 0 research counts. It's fair enough. Shakma with 6. And Gab with the most reinforced units. Okay, well that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. It was a very good one for me to watch. And I'll see you next time. Bye.